Oh no, she's done it again. Meghan Markle has just made the judge of Australian MasterChef, a household name, beloved figure in Australia, Poh Ling Yeow, cry during filming.
Meghan Markle is attempting to distract by showing a series of holiday photos, her summer holiday photos, on Instagram, despite reports that she made one of the co-hosts on MasterChef basically cry.
But she bullied people in a very unpleasant way over here.
It didn't start with a scandal. It started with a whisper before the episode even aired, before a single frame hit television, before the audience could judge anything for themselves. The word out of Sydney was already ugly.
This woman is really not oppressed. She's opportunistic.
Meghan Markle hadn't just appeared on MasterChef Australia, she had reportedly made one of the judges cry on set, in front of everyone. And just like that, before the public saw a single second, the narrative was already spiraling. Not because of editing.
She seems to be an incredibly popular figure in Australia. And given Meghan's track record, I am inclined to believe that these sources to New Idea are correct. She was simply trying to make Meghan feel comfortable, trying to be warm, and you saw that look. Meghan hated her.
Not because of rumors, but because the same pattern had surfaced again. A pattern stretching back 8 years. A pattern people were no longer ignoring. A pattern where Meghan Markle walks in.
The narcissism and the lack of perspective from this woman is astounding. Let's not forget that Meghan Markle has a well-established track record of bullying. She thought nothing of bullying Princess Charlotte, a 3-year-old little girl. She thought that character building. But when it comes and it's flipped on her, it's like, how dare you call me out for bullying somebody? Because in her mind, like all bullies, it's acceptable to harm others and never get called out for it.
Meghan Markle may have thought her appearance on Australian MasterChef would help, propel her image as a chef, and yet somehow the appearance has turned into master mess. Because according to reports, Meghan Markle made one of the co-hosts cry over the use of the word royalty, which is utterly bizarre as Meghan is obsessed with her own title.
And someone walks out in tears. And the name at the center of this latest moment? Poh Ling Yeow. Not just any judge, a beloved figure. 8 years on that show. Warm, respected, untouchable in the eyes of viewers. And yet, according to the whispers leaking out before broadcast, she was left shaken reportedly over a single word. One word. That's all it took. Not an argument, not a fight, a word. And suddenly, the entire production atmosphere shifted. People weren't shocked, they were counting. Because this wasn't new. This wasn't surprising. This was familiar. Too familiar. Now the situation expands. The crying judge wasn't an isolated moment, it became part of a larger pile. A cooking show that scored a flat 0. A fashion show moment where Meghan Markle was seen giggling as a model hit the floor. And behind all of it, an 8-year trail of people left emotionally wrecked. The pattern wasn't subtle anymore. It was stacking. And the question started forming in real time. How many incidents does it take before coincidence becomes identity? So what actually happened inside that MasterChef kitchen in April? Meghan Markle flew in as a guest judge. The image was carefully crafted, humble, warm, approachable, one of the people. But before the cameras rolled, before the contestants cooked, before the introductions began, one rule was reportedly made very clear. Do not call her royalty. Not once. Not anywhere near her. And that's where the contradiction begins to unfold. Because this is the same Meghan Markle who has her staff announce the Duchess of Sussex is coming when entering rooms in New York. The same Meghan Markle whose assistant reportedly announced her title at a Beverly Hills restaurant. The same Meghan Markle who, by all appearances, embraces that identity when it elevates her, but rejects it when it threatens her control. And then it happened. Poh Ling Yeow, smiling, warm, doing what she has always done, introduced Meghan Markle as MasterChef royalty. A compliment. A harmless, even generous phrase. But according to the words circulating behind the scenes, that one moment triggered a shift. Meghan Markle reportedly turned cold. Her team reportedly reacted. Poh Ling Yeow, reportedly mortified, wanted to apologize and was told not to. And then something even more revealing happened. Footage vanished. Not trimmed, not edited. Removed quietly, When a show starts hiding its own footage involving its headline guest, that's no longer production, it's damage control. But here's where it gets more complicated. Because the issue may not have been that word at all. The entire challenge itself was titled A Dish Fit for a Duchess. The very identity Meghan Markle had reportedly banned verbally was embedded into the structure of the show, which raises a question no one in Sydney could fully answer. If the title Duchess was being used for branding, for ratings, for a paycheck from Channel 10, then why was a judge using the word royalty suddenly unacceptable? That contradiction doesn't resolve, it deepens. And then the power dynamic becomes visible. Contestants, placed under pressure, working against the clock, surrounded by cameras, had a choice of who to approach for help. And repeatedly, they walked past Meghan Markle, straight to the other judges. The biggest global name in the room, treated like background presence. Not authority, not expertise, just there. That moment wasn't loud, but it was revealing. Power wasn't being acknowledged. And for someone who builds identity on perception, that matters. Now the focus shifts again. Because while this moment was unfolding in Sydney, another narrative was collapsing elsewhere. Meghan Markle's Netflix cooking show, the one positioned as her major comeback, didn't just underperform. It scored 0. Not low ratings, not mixed reviews, 0% from critics. A complete rejection. And even more telling, when a second season was released, it didn't recover. It sank further. It couldn't even break into Netflix's top 300 shows. And yet, despite that, Meghan Markle continued presenting herself publicly as a lifestyle authority. A cook. A host. A brand. And then the accusations shift direction. Because it wasn't just about performance, it became about originality. The show was accused of mirroring Martha Stewart. Others pointed to similarities with Pamela Anderson's cooking format. Shot-for-shot comparisons began circulating. And when Martha Stewart herself was asked about it, she didn't confront, she didn't deny, she didn't defend. She stepped back. And that silence spoke louder than any statement could. At the same time, another contradiction surfaces. Meghan Markle, who reportedly admits she still has a lot to learn in the kitchen, was placed in a position judging professional chefs with decades of experience. Real chefs. Trained, tested, proven. And yet she stands beside them, nodding, guiding, presenting. That imbalance isn't subtle, it's structural. And audiences noticed instantly. Comments flooded in. Comparisons sharpened. Because the question wasn't whether she was learning, it was why she was leading. And then the narrative darkens further. Because this isn't just about skill, it's about behavior. The Paris Fashion Week moment resurfaces. A model falls on the runway. Cameras catch Meghan Markle reacting not with concern, but with laughter. A brief moment. A slip. But enough. And then, just as quickly, the expression changes when awareness hits. The camera is there. The moment is public. And the shift happens instantly. That duality becomes central. The private reaction versus the public face. And now, everything connects. Poh Ling Yeow in Sydney. The Netflix failure. The accusations of copying Martha Stewart and Pamela Anderson. The Paris runway moment. The contestants ignoring her authority. The disappearing footage. The banned word royalty alongside the promoted title Duchess. These are not isolated incidents anymore. They are pieces of a pattern forming in real time. And just as that pattern becomes impossible to ignore, something else begins to surface. Because this story didn't start in Sydney. It started in 2018. And what happened inside Kensington Palace was far worse. And the moment those details begin to resurface, everything about the MasterChef incident starts to look like a warning, not an exception. The moment you rewind to 2018, everything stops looking like coincidence and starts looking like a blueprint. Meghan Markle had just entered Kensington Palace, still new, still protected, still wrapped in the goodwill of the institution. But behind those walls, something else was already unfolding. Staff weren't celebrating the arrival, they were bracing for it. Reports began surfacing, quietly at first, that people working directly under Meghan Markle were leaving. Not transferring, not rotating. Leaving, 2 assistants gone within a year. Not rumors, formal complaints. Written down. Filed, documented, and the language used inside those reports wasn't mild. It was direct. Bullying. And this is where Catherine, the Princess of Wales, enters the frame not as a rival, but as a witness to what was happening internally. Because the public story was always about a bridesmaid dress, a petty disagreement, a misunderstanding between Meghan Markle and Catherine. But inside Kensington Palace, the real issue was far more serious. It wasn't fabric, it was behavior. Catherine reportedly saw how staff were being treated, and that's where the fracture truly began. Not personal jealousy, institutional alarm. And from that moment, the divide wasn't repairable, it was structural. Now the escalation sharpens. A senior aide didn't just whisper concerns, they formally recorded them. A complaint stating Meghan Markle had effectively driven 2 assistants out of their roles. These weren't inexperienced hires. These were seasoned professionals with years of royal service behind them. And yet they walked away. That's not workplace tension, that's breakdown. And when people trained to handle royal pressure decide the environment is worse than the role itself, the power dynamic has already shifted too far. But what happened next may be even more revealing. An internal review was launched, quietly, carefully, the kind of process designed to assess, to investigate, to conclude. And then nothing. The findings never saw daylight. Not partially released, not summarized. Buried completely. Which raises the question that never goes away. If the conclusions cleared Meghan Markle, why hide them? And if they didn't, who made the decision to keep them hidden? At the center of that silence stands Prince Harry. Because according to reports, he pushed for the situation to be contained, managed, quieted, and that moment changes his role completely. He's no longer just a participant, he becomes a shield. Protecting Meghan Markle not from public criticism, but from institutional consequence. And once that protection is established, the pattern doesn't stop. It expands. By 2021, the reports grow louder. Staff leaving isn't rare, it's routine. Accounts emerge of aides ending meetings in tears, of individuals preparing themselves emotionally before entering the same room. One aide reportedly admitted she was shaking before a meeting. Shaking, not because of the job, but because of the interaction. And that detail matters. Because fear like that doesn't come from status. It comes from experience. And then the geography shifts. From London to California. From palace corridors to Montecito. But the pattern doesn't change. It follows. Staff working within Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's operation begin describing the environment in similar terms. Difficult, demanding, volatile, the same dynamic, different location. And that's when the label appears not from critics, but from insiders. The Sussex Survivors Club. Not a joke, not exaggeration. A name people gave themselves after leaving. Now the scale becomes impossible to ignore. Palace aides, Hollywood staff, production teams, security personnel, across 3 continents, different industries, different environments, same outcome. People leaving, people speaking quietly, people choosing distance over proximity. And when that kind of consistency emerges, the narrative shifts again from isolated claims to systemic pattern. Then comes the charity fallout, another environment, another purpose, another opportunity for goodwill. And yet, even there, the same issue surfaces. A public bullying dispute tied to an organization associated with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. The story doesn't stay contained, it spreads. Headlines pick it up. The same questions resurface. And again, the response isn't resolution, it's deflection. Claims of witch hunts. Claims of coordinated attacks. Claims that the system itself is working against her. And then comes the most controversial image of all. A photo from Althorp, Princess Diana's family home. Her resting place, inserted among casual holiday images, positioned as part of a lifestyle narrative. And that choice triggers something deeper than criticism. It raises questions about boundaries, about intention, about whether anything remains untouched when image management is at stake. And now the whispers are shifting again. Not about staff, not about shows, not about judges, but about the one person who has remained at her side through every single chapter, Prince Harry. Because if the pattern holds, then the next fracture won't happen behind palace doors. It will happen inside the marriage itself. And the question no one inside Montecito can fully answer anymore is simple and dangerous. When the pattern finally turns inward, Who walks out next?